Once upon a time, there was a great Zen master named Ryokan. He lived in a small hut in the mountains, dedicating his life to the practice of meditation and teaching others the path of enlightenment. One day, a young monk approached Ryokan and asked him, "Master, what is the secret to enlightenment?" Ryokan looked at the young monk and replied, "Come with me." The two of them walked in silence for several hours, until they reached a beautiful cherry blossom tree in full bloom. Ryokan pointed to the tree and said, "Do you see this tree?" The young monk nodded. Ryokan continued, "To be enlightened, you must be like this tree. It does not resist the changing seasons. It adapts to them. It stands tall and proud in the summer sun, and in the winter snow. It bows gracefully, accepting its fate. It is rooted deeply in the earth, yet it reaches for the sky. This is the secret to enlightenment." The young monk was amazed by Ryokan's words, and he spent the rest of his life trying to be like the cherry blossom tree. He meditated and practiced diligently, and eventually, he too attained enlightenment. Years later, when the young monk had become an old master himself, he was asked by a student, "Master, what is the secret to enlightenment?" The old master smiled and said, "Come with me." They walked for a while and came upon a beautiful cherry blossom tree in full bloom. The old master pointed to the tree and said, "Do you see this tree?" The student nodded. The old master continued, "To be enlightened, you must be like this tree. It does not resist the changing seasons. It adapts to them. It stands tall and proud in the summer sun, and in the winter snow. It bows gracefully, accepting its fate. It is rooted deeply in the earth, yet it reaches for the sky. This is the secret to enlightenment." The student was confused and said, "But master, that's what you told me last year." The old master smiled and replied, "Yes, it is the same every year. The secret to enlightenment never changes. Only we change, and we must remind ourselves of it every day." And with that, the old master and the student sat under the cherry blossom tree, meditating in the beauty and wisdom of nature. As they sat in silence, the wind began to blow, causing the cherry blossom petals to fall and dance around them. The old master smiled and said, "Do you see how the petals dance with the wind? They do not resist, they flow with it. Just like the cherry blossom tree. We too must learn to flow with life's changes, to embrace them rather than fight against them." The student pondered these words and realized that the secret to enlightenment was not just in the stillness of meditation, but in the ability to adapt and flow with the ever-changing nature of life. As they continued to meditate, a bird landed on a nearby branch and began to sing. The old master opened his eyes and looked at the bird with wonder. "Do you hear that bird's song?" he asked the student. "It is not concerned with the past or the future. It is fully present in this moment, expressing its joy and beauty." The student realized that enlightenment was not just about transcending the suffering of the past or seeking a future goal, but about fully embracing the present moment, with all its beauty and imperfections. As the sun began to set, the old master and the student stood up and bowed to the cherry blossom tree, expressing gratitude for its wisdom and inspiration. They walked back to the monastery in silence, their hearts filled with a deep sense of peace and contentment. From that day on, the student practiced diligently, learning to flow with life's changes, embrace the present moment, and express joy and beauty in all that he did. And just like the cherry blossom tree and the bird's song, he too became a source of inspiration and enlightenment for others.